Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Bank Phillies podcast. I'm your host, Pete, along with my co-host Henry. What is up, buddy? How you feeling
So,
today?
I wish I was feeling better, but here we are.
Yep, here we are. First things first, though. For anybody that celebrates it, happy Easter on this good day. Um, there's a lot to get into today. But first thing I want to say is, shout out to the listeners, new listeners as well. If you recently followed with us, been making some progress lately. A lot of love shown on social media. A lot of the clips that we posted recently, especially the one from opening day the other day with the Philly sports guy. Shout out to him for doing that for us. That was amazing. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube if you haven't so far. Make sure to check out the videos on there and stuff. But yeah, let's not waste no time today because obviously the last 2 days have not gone the Phillies' way, and obviously we're not happy about it. And we're just hoping that today they don't get swept. But I'm not feeling great right now.
I'm not either. I'm not either. I was at the ballpark. I mean, we were at the ballpark for opening day, and we were actually. I was glad we were together with the Marsh home run. But then everything just. It was great. It was great. The Marsh home run was hit, and we were here, and then everything just straight down. I mean, come on. I
It,
think what
it was
bothers
tough.
me the most about what's been going on the last 2 days, and this may be, a very reactionary thing. They look like they're playing extremely tight for no reason. This is exactly what happened in game 6 and 7 last year. I'm not comparing these to them, and we are going against one of the best teams in baseball, but like that's no excuse. They're playing super tight.
Mhm.
Like the place sounds like a playoff atmosphere. Just give us something. You don't have to play tight like that. It just doesn't make sense to me. You're taking these stupid hacks at these pitches. It's terrible. It's there's not much fight yet, and it's really starting to worry me. And I know that the Phillies always start off slow, and you have a quote about it. I know that you found that tweet.
Mhm.
But it's every year. It's every year.
Yeah. It was like you said, like we met up and we saw the Marsh home run or whatever, and it was great. And then like I kept saying to you like, yesterday and a couple hours after the game on Friday, like we were having such a good time on Ashburn Alley, watching with
Yeah.
other fans on the TV after he just hit the home run, we're up, whatever. It was such a good time. And it's like I go back to my seat, and just from then it just went downhill. And to be honest with you, I don't know if it has to do with the fact that they were selling bats from the playoffs in 2023, but to be honest with you, I think this might be some bad luck because,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, if they lose today, the thing is getting
Oh,
destroyed.
throw it in the wood chipper, bro. It's
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. For
it's
for for
terrible.
the listeners I can't see, but like it says Red October 2023 on it from the postseason. It's just like obviously they were trying to get rid of it. And I don't know. I think it's giving off a bad vibe. I think it's bad luck. But that's just me being superstitious, of
It
course.
might be. It
Yeah,
might be.
listen, if
I
it's
mean,
stuff.
the
Yeah.
last time they sold those bats was when we lost game 7, so
Exactly.
put it that
Yeah.
way.
So, and but, back to, what we're talking about, it just seemed like there is no fight right now, and I'm hoping they can turn it around today, and, end off the series, I guess, with a good note, at least take one, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know what to expect today,
Me neither.
especially, the lineup we'll talk about later just came out, and there's some questionable things in there, so, um, but yeah, let me read the tweet that I was talking about that I found, that was very interesting to me because I feel like it just kinda basically wrapped up the 2 days
Yeah.
about the
It
Phillies
it
right
it
now.
encapsulated everything we were feeling.
It did.
Yeah.
So, John Stolness, news producer and reporter in DC, he also has a Phillies podcast, Hitting Season, shout out to them. So, basically, he tweeted, "The reason people are upset about the Phillies is because they made such a point of talking about how they wanted to get off to a faster start, how they wanted to come out of the gate playing better, and instead they laid 2 huge eggs against their most hated rival to start off the season at home. And the same things that bugged us last year are still there in spades. So yeah, it's frustrating. It's okay that people are frustrated."
Yeah. It is. That's my problem because everybody's like, "Oh, well, it's just 2 games." Like, no. No. When you go from a World Series to an NLCS to this, Like, it's terrible, and starting with opening day, I'm gonna run through both games here just real quick.
Yeah.
Starting with opening day, Wheeler pitched a phenomenal game. He was phenomenal, and then the
Mhm.
bullpen just came in and just gave it away. With
Yeah.
Strom, I don't know why we re-signed him in the first place, to be quite honest with you. It didn't make much sense.
I don't
It
know.
it it really didn't. And then Noli yesterday just came in and just started giving up runs right away. Right away.
Yeah.
Like, it just exactly. See, she's mad too. I don't know if you can hear my dog barking, but it's just like it makes no sense. And you texted me because I was at both games and I'm going today as well. Which fortunately or unfortunately, who knows? But Albies hit the home run, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And you texted me right away, and you were like, "This is gonna be a long day." And then we
Yep.
came back and scored 3 runs, which shout out to that home plate umpire because Nick Castellanos was walking to the dugout. That ball was right down the middle, and he called it a ball,
That was
and
bad.
that's what gave us the runs at the end of the day. But like, oh my goodness, it was just such a poor showing by the offense. I mean, we got outscored yesterday by the Mets. The
Yeah.
Mets, who had 1 hit on opening day.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, and especially like it was like raining again yesterday. And I told you, like, at one point, like Michael Harris hit the late home run. And I said, when it rains, it pours, man. Like it just keeps going. And it's just like it was tough to see. And I'm telling you right now, I'm tired of hearing the same Rob Thompson quotes over and over again. Like, I understand that he's got to say something just for the media or whatever, but he said a quote after the game saying, "I have all the confidence in the world in this ball club. I don't think this is indicative of who we are. We got to come back here tomorrow and go get after it." Okay, then do it. Then do it.
Yeah, yeah,
Then just win a game. Just go out there and play baseball like you know
yeah,
how to, and
yeah.
stop trying to do too much. Like I feel like the batters once again are just doing too much.
They're trying to have their moment, and it's like, it's March. Like,
Yeah,
please, it's alright. Like, just loosen up. And I'm one of his biggest fans, but Nick Castellanos, if you don't stop swinging at those balls that are sliders away in the dirt in the left-handed batter's box, I swear, bro, if I was the coach, he'd be benched. I don't care how much money he's making. Dude, look at his swings. His swings on opening day were just weak. I texted you his first at bat. I said, "What was that swing? Like, what was that?"
it's
It
just
just
like
it makes no sense.
half effort swing. It's just annoying to watch. And you know, let me get to some real quick points. I don't want to forget about this.
Go ahead.
But going back to people saying like, "Oh, it's only the second game," and why are you so mad? Like, it's still early. Listen, if you don't have as much passion for your team or you want to see them win and you're not getting mad, then you really don't care, in my opinion.
Right. Or
We
don't tell me
care.
how to care.
Yeah, don't tell me how to care. Of course, I'm gonna get mad because I wanted them to start off fast this year and I wanted to set the tone. But
Yeah.
instead, here we are again in the same situation as last year, and we have to go through the same emotions again. And hopefully, that this team isn't under like 20 games under 500 by like the end of April. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm tired of people telling me that because I'm just like, dude, let me have my moment. I'm gonna get mad and I'll be okay the next day, but let me just have my moment.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm gonna get pissed off because I want to see this team win, and I know that this team can do it. But right now, they're just not in the right, state of mind that they're thinking, "Oh, well, we just need to play some small ball." No, like, yeah, that's what you need to do. You don't need to go out and hit a home run in every bat. You just
Right.
gotta go out there and play small ball. Just do the
Yeah.
right thing. I mean, help each other out. Something, man. It's just like it's annoying to watch. And like I said, I just hate when people tell me, "Oh, don't get mad. It's still early." It's like just don't talk to me, man. Like just let me have my moment and just let me, be sad for a little bit so I
Yeah.
can just go through the motions. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I care about my team. And that's
Yeah.
how I always am with any sport, not just baseball, any sport. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to win. Winning is the only thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if we
Yeah.
do lose, okay, I'll keep it on the chin, but I'm gonna get mad about it
Right.
either way.
Yeah. It's just
So
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. And I'm not trying to tell people like don't talk to me about the games. That's not
yeah.
what I'm saying,
No,
but like
no,
at the
yeah.
same time, it's like I'm pissed because I want better.
Exactly.
Like I want better. That's why I'm mad. That's why I'm mad. And there's not many fan bases that get mad so quickly after 2 games. I don't care.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm getting mad, yeah, it's only 2 games, whatever, and I was trying to tell myself that yesterday, but at the same time, like you just pointed out, this is a culmination of 2 years ago, a year ago, how the season ended, and these 2 games. It's just all right here because
Mm,
everything it's the same stuff every year. It's the same thing. It is the same thing. Last year we started off what, like 5 and 12 or something? Like,
yeah,
I mean, what are we doing? Like, we gotta do this every year? Every year? And now the Braves already have it. Like it or not, I know there's 162 games. The Braves already have a 2-game lead on the division against us,
yep,
and we're supposed to be contenders. I mean, I think they're gonna have a good April because of their strength of schedule, but this is not showing me any promise that they're gonna have a good month at all.
none, 0.
And it scares me to death for May because May Phillies are just some of the most excruciating things you ever watch in your life.
Yeah, and going back to the opening day game, 'cause like, yesterday was brutal, and honestly, I kinda wanna forget about yesterday because yesterday felt worse than opening day, but,
Yeah.
um, the lineup order 1 through 4, the top of the lineup was 0 for 14 on Friday, just so everybody was aware. So, we're still dealing with that. They did a little better yesterday, they got some
Yes.
walks, whatever,
Yeah.
but
And yesterday, Harper looked like he was. Tom Kelly put it very well on WIP afterwards. He said he was snake bitten because like that ball that Kelnick caught, or however
yeah,
you pronounce his name, Kelnick, I think his name is.
yeah,
Like the one he caught and he dove and caught, it was just like, all right, like this isn't like you said yesterday. Like when he dove and caught it, you're like, this isn't the day. But
no,
we're
and then the
focusing on opening day stats right now.
yeah, exactly, but and of course, it was 7-4 at that point, so I already knew we were gonna lose, but it
Right, right.
just put a little salt in the wound, but anyway, so yeah, like I was saying, 0 for 14, terrible. Bullpen was disastrous, and of course, we were ranked number 1. Shout out to MLB for that. Because now put all the pressure on that, and we come out and we piss ourselves, and
Yeah.
you know, and then the funny thing to me, Adam Duvall was the guy who tied the game on Friday. And reminder, it was a $3 million contract that they signed with the Braves,
Lefty outfield at bat or lefty outfield bat on the bench.
and Dombrowski didn't want to pay him. Didn't want to pay a guy like him to come off the bench and do exactly what he did for the Braves against us. The irony.
That just when you texted because I was walking around and you went and I was like, "Who just tied it up?" And you said Adam Duvall, LOL. And I was like, "Oh, I'm very appreciative of the ownership and the GM."
Mhm.
But when stuff like this happens, and it's easy to say it when it happens against. I'm not crying. I just have an itch on my eye.
Yeah,
It's easy to say it when it happens to us, like when the guy does it against us.
yeah,
But like he's gonna have a good season in general, and it just, dude, it, the names that make you a championship club are not the names you pay $300 million for. They are, but
yes,
those bench pieces and stuff like that, that matters almost just as much,
exactly.
you know? Like the Edmundo Sosas, the Alec Bohms, who's not making much money right now,
Yeah,
the Bryson Stotts, like the Whit Merrifields. Those are the kind of utility signings that get you championships, and we
yeah,
just don't have one right now. I just don't get it. Like we have Whit, and he can play anywhere, but like you need another one because Whit's another right-hander.
yeah,
I'm not a huge guy on the. I mean, we've had this discussion before. I'm not a huge guy on the righty lefty thing, but like you need another left-handed bat on the bench. You don't have one, really.
yeah,
I mean, it's just it's the same stuff. I feel like every year it's just a cycle.
yeah, for sure. And it had me laughing, when I was watching that, and to see Adam Duvall, tie the game, and I'm just like, what? How did I not see? Like, I knew this was coming. I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
And as soon as I seen him sign the contract, as soon as I saw the announcement, I said, I can't wait to see him do something against us, and I'm just gonna laugh at that very moment. It just was like, you can't make it up, bro. You can't make it up. I said,
This
but
is only stuff that happens to the Phillies.
Dombrowski, you didn't want to sign him though, 'cause you didn't want to go over the luxury tax. You didn't want to sign him for $3 million.
I personally,
It's beyond me.
we're gonna
Beyond me.
we're gonna disagree on this, but don't want to go over the luxury tax.
But like, who cares? We're
Who
just trying
cares?
to win a
It's but
championship.
no, I get that, but like let me ask you this. So we went through that 7 years of suffering from like 2012 to 2019. I
Yeah,
don't want to go through that again. And that would drop us 10 spots in each draft. That would take prospects. Like, bro, 3 million I don't think would be worth it. If you're gonna like have a guy that puts you over that luxury tax, you got to do it big. 3 million's not going to do it. I wouldn't have went over the luxury tax either. I don't blame him, but that's also the like we agree and we don't because like I don't want to go over the luxury tax, but you're going over the luxury tax because you're overpaying certain people,
yeah.
not necessarily big names, but like you're overpaying certain people. Like I just don't get it.
I get what you're saying, but I just want a championship now, man. I just
So
want it
do
now.
I. I
I
just
mean, if
don't
we
want
got
to.
one now and we were bad for a couple of years, I'd be like, okay, but I mean, at least you got a
Yeah,
championship out of it.
but
I mean, is
but
that a bad attitude to have? I guess
I
I don't
no,
know.
I get what you're saying, but it's like I don't want to suffer for 7 years again like we did last time. I
I know.
like being okay for a couple years, like that's one thing, but being abysmal like we were is
Yeah,
another. That was we were a 100 lost ball club for however many seasons. I'm not doing that again. I don't want to do that again. That's why when he always talks about like when people always talk about like we listen to WIP a lot. I listen to
hmm
WIP a lot. They
yeah,
talk about big trades at the deadline and they're like, "Oh, well, I'm giving away this prospect, and this prospect." I'm
yeah,
not giving away those guys. I'm not giving them away because then we have no future.
yeah.
We have, and I understand that prospects are just prospects at the end of the day because I know that's what you're going to say after this. But because you like to say that, I
I
know.
mean,
But
yeah,
but it's like I can't suffer like that again. I hope it doesn't come at the cost of not getting a championship, but I cannot suffer like that again. That was bad. That was bad.
it was bad for
I
sure.
mean,
But I
it would
just, I
maybe
know.
it would bring Dollar Dog Night back, but other than that, like,
Yeah, it's
I
just
just
like,
we're always gonna disagree on this luxury tax thing because I care more about the draft, I think, than you do.
yeah. I
But
mean,
that's just baseball nerd stuff at the end of the day.
it is, and I get your side, but I just like I said, I just want a championship
You
now,
wanna
man.
win now, I
Like
get it.
I do, and it's like, to be honest with you, we had our chance, and obviously it didn't come through. But like it's just like this is there's no more like underdog, like there's expectations now,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
this is our window right now.
right.
This is technically our window,
Yeah,
so there's
it
no
is.
time to waste.
I
There's
get it.
there's guys getting older.
Right,
Like this is the time not to mess around.
right. Well, it's funny you mentioned guys getting older because yesterday I got I found myself getting a little nervous when
hmm
1 through 4, like, they got a couple walks yesterday, they did okay, they worked some counts, but with how bad they were on opening day,
hmm
and then yesterday, I was like, "Are these guys finally gonna show their age?"
I don't
Which
want that thought in my
I
mind.
I know, it just but it's a real thing.
I know.
I mean, they're not, like, old by any means, like, how old is Schwarber? He's what, 30, 34?
He's getting up there, yeah, and around
I
that
was gonna
area.
say, that's what I thought. Because like JT is 33, but
Yeah.
he's see, I was talking to the people I was with, and I was talking to people near my seat the other day, and it was yesterday. And I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't realize JT was 33 years old. And he was like, "Yeah." And I said to him, I was like, "He's like one of the most athletic catchers I've ever seen, though. Like
Oh,
he's
yeah.
not one of those guys that's like I'm not going to be able to catch for another 3 years. Like
Yeah.
he said he wants to catch till he's till he's like 40. He said
Yeah.
that is very much in the cards for him. But it's
Mhm.
just like Harper's 30 or 31, Turner's around the same age. I just hope that these guys don't show their age, and that's that. You know,
Yeah.
I know that we don't want to have that conversation. I know that you don't want to have that thought, but it's a very real possibility, and it's just very concerning to me.
Yeah. Nah,
So,
it's crept in my mind a little bit, but I'm just like
yeah.
I try to, like, shut it out. I'm like, "Don't think about
It's
that."
and
But it's like,
the
"It's
only
real, it's
reason
real, it's
the
real." I don't
right.
know.
The only reason I thought about it
Ugh.
is because I think all 4 of those guys are all back to back,
Yeah,
in that top 4, like the Schwarber, Turner, Harper,
yeah,
JT, which changed today, and I'm trying to keep my cool, but we'll get to that later.
yeah.
Um, that's what made me think of it, I think because they're all sandwiched in that same spot, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, it's just yeah.
It's been an abysmal last 2 days, and
It
especially, like,
has.
yesterday was sports was just beating my ass, bro, like, it's just the Phillies and the Flyers losing. I'm getting destroyed in fantasy baseball, like, it's just like, when will it stop? And my March Madness bracket's done. That was done on Friday, so that was just the start of it.
Did Houston lose on the same night as UNC,
Um,
or was that
what
one night after?
it might have been the same night. I don't know.
Well,
Dude,
if
it's
that's the
all a
case, then we're in
disaster.
this together.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly, and
I my Final Four was out other than UNC was out, 4 days ago, 5 days ago.
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Also, real quick, because after this, I just want to move on, and we'll get to some other things. We got a new segment that we want to get into. But to the guy that was sitting behind me on opening day, please, please, next time read the room, and please, I mean this with all due respect, shut the hell up. Like, bro, this guy behind us could not read what was going on. He just kept yapping, he kept talking. It was like we're already down 9-3, and he's over here just saying whatever. And I explained it to you the other day. He's like one of those guys who's a Phillies fan and he just complains about whatever, but he doesn't know what he's complaining about and what the reason is behind it. But and I'm not trying to like sound cocky or anything like that, but when we complain, we at least know what we're talking about. And we know what we're complaining about, and it's reasonable to complain about. He was just yapping, bro, just continuously kept talking, and I think his friends were getting tired of it because he's with some of his buddies, and you could just tell they were getting tired of it. I'm like, dude, he's over here talking about like, oh, I want to see Jeff Hoffman back out here again, bro. He was already pitching. You obviously aren't paying attention. Like, go get another beer, bro. Go get another beer because you obviously it's just he's gone, bro. Just next time, read the room, bro.
Did you just say that he had to get him back out there?
Yeah, well, he was talking. That's the thing. He was like, "Oh, I want to see Hoffman." It's like, bro, he was already out there, bro. Like, you obviously aren't paying attention.
And then didn't he say like, "Oh, we need to get him back out there then," or something like that?
Yeah, like, dude, it's just like, oh my god, bro. Like, it's like one of those like fans that it was just like, it was so annoying, bro. Like, but the other fans were good. It shout to the guy that was buying me and my stepdad beers. By the way, I forget it. I didn't get his name, but I know he'll be listening. So shout out to him. He was really nice guy. But I mean, it's just other people. I'm just like, bro, read
Dude,
the room.
this Braves fan, I told you about this yesterday. I'm gonna try and paint a picture.
Hmm.
So there's at Citizens Bank Park, for people who aren't familiar with it, in the 400 level, which is where I was sitting, because I don't care if I sit in cheap seats or not.
Hmm.
You go up the middle of a section, and like if you turn right, it's one section. You turn left, it's another. So I was in the section to the right, and stairs go up and there's chairs next to it. There's rows, like shorter rows. Well, then it like expands once it gets past that, the concrete structure that lets you go up.
Yeah,
So I'm sitting in one of the first extended rows. This Braves fan comes up and he's already half lit, and he's walking up and he asks the girl in front of me to move or to get like like, oh, can I get in there, whatever. Then he steps on her uh armrest and diagonally goes through me and her. And she went, or you could use the stairs. And I was cracking up. But he got past and I was like, did that make any sense? Because he turned around to look at me to get my reaction, I guess. And I
yeah,
was like, did that make any sense? And then that's not even the worst part. Then he's walking down, and I guess some guy was chirping at him, and he said something about like because he had a World Series hat on, and he said
yeah,
something about it, and he takes his hat off. He goes, "You see what year that says? You see what year that says? Oh, that's 2021. Where's yours? 2008." And then the guy was like, "Dude, we made the World Series 2 years ago off the backs of you." And he was like, "I'd rather not make it than or not make it at all than make it and lose." And I was like, "You're a moron." I yelled. I was like, "Shut up and go sit down." And then he had to go all the way down the section because he doesn't know how to function in a stadium and go in the right end of the section. So,
It just
some of
doesn't
these
learn.
Braves fans are just terrible.
Just
The
don't know
guy
their
the guy
place.
next to me was a Braves fan, and he was actually, like, fine because he sat next to me. He was not obnoxious. It was him and his buddy. His buddy must have been a Phillies fan or whatever. And
Yeah.
when they would score, he'd be like, "Oh yeah," like he would get a little hype, but he wasn't
Yeah, like
screaming, hollering, whatever. He knew his
yeah,
place. Just know your place. Away fans, know your place, please, please,
exactly.
because you don't
And
have numbers here. I promise you.
yeah.
25 minutes we just went on that. 25 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna listen, it was when it comes to, like, the bank and stuff, it was bumping, like, 2 days, there
Oh,
were a lot of people there, it was fun,
the crowd was
but
great.
the outcome wasn't what we wanted, but we're just hoping that they bounce back today and,
Yeah,
going forward this week, so I think we gotta try to put those 2 days behind us, I guess, according to, everybody that keeps saying, "Oh, it's just 2 games," but, um, yeah, I don't know, I mean, I probably won't get over it until they actually win a game, so I'm
yeah.
hoping they don't put me through more misery today,
When we're
so,
you know yeah. I don't even want to put this out in the
you
universe.
know.
We're like 0-5 by the end.
No. That's the thing, I didn't think we would be in this situation,
Me
I
neither.
had it in my head, but then I'm like, "I hope it doesn't come true," and now here we are. So it's
Yeah.
like
Well, do you remember what happened last year when
yeah,
we lost game 2 in the playoffs?
yeah, and we were overreacting. It's like and yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of overreacting, transitioning into our next segment that is brand new today, overreaction or not overreaction. So, we will both each have 2 statements, and we will just decide if that's an overreaction or it's not. So, I will let you start with your statement.
My first statement is there will still be no closer by the end of the season. No set closer. Do you think that's an overreaction?
Yes, I do. I think there will be a closer. I think by
Who
then.
who do you think it's gonna be?
I think I'm gonna still stick with Jeff Hoffman.
I was
I
gonna say
still think Jeff
I thought
Hoffman
you would.
I think yeah, that's definitely I don't think by that time, like, we won't have a solidified closer. And I'm gonna stick with Jeff Hoffman. I picked him a couple weeks back to be that solidified closer. And who knows, maybe Kirk Ring, remember, he started the season on IL and he's starting to ramp up now. So he's starting to get some starts in, AAA or whatever. And he can make a, good argument for it. But
Right.
I think as of right now, Jeff Hoffman should be that guy. And I think he will be moving forward.
For me, I think it's gonna be you mentioned Kirkring, I think, before. And I think what's gonna happen is Hoffman's gonna be a setup man,
Mhm.
and then Kirkring's gonna be the closer.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think
and
Hoffman gets fairly regular appearances.
yeah.
So,
It Either way, I think it'll be good. I think
yeah,
it's,
yeah.
yeah, it's definitely a reaction. There's no way we're not gonna have a freaking closer by the end of the season.
I just I It cost us the last 2 years in the
Yeah,
postseason. So, you got
true.
one?
Yeah, so my first statement, Rojas will not be that guy.
Overreaction. We disagree on this
We do. I don't
because
think he's gonna be
because
that
because
guy.
I it's so what's your definition of that guy?
Like, he's not gonna be that guy that everybody's been telling us about. That he's saying, "Oh, well, he's gonna improve hitting, and okay, he's got good defensive skills in center field, so whatever, as long as you have that, whatever happens with the bat doesn't matter." But yes, it does.
It
Yes, it
it ma
does.
Okay, so
Like,
my counter to this is if we have to rely on our 9-hole hitter, then I feel like we're in deep trouble.
I'm not saying relying on him though. I'm not saying to
No, no,
rely on
no,
him.
but I'm
I'm just
saying like
saying
like
a little bit
if
more better at bats though,
I
is
no,
what I'm
I get
saying.
that, and I want him over 225, and I know that shouldn't be much to ask, but for him it is. But I'm saying like the people who are like, well, if he doesn't hit 275 with 60 RBIs, he's a waste of a spot. What are you talking about? Like what it just if we're having the problems at the top of the lineup, like we're not winning games and somebody's blaming it on Rojas, that's not the
Mhm.
case. If we're not winning games and we're getting like we are right now, like I don't hear any like thank goodness, but I don't hear anybody talking crap on Rojas at the moment because our top four are so bad
Yeah.
that like it's just I just think it's misplaced anger because some people, I'm not saying this is you because we hold the guys who get paid a lot, we still hold them accountable. But a lot of
Absolutely.
people seem like it's like you don't want to touch the people who are making over like hundreds of millions of dollars, whatever. You don't want to blame them. You want to blame the little guy.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't think that sending him down to AAA will get him any better because the I forget who I was listening to the other day, but it was an interview with Dombrowski.
Mhm.
He was saying that the level of talent between AAA and the majors is such a wide margin that
Yeah.
sending somebody down to get better almost is impossible,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like I don't know. I just think people have misplaced anger towards Rojas. I just hope he's serviceable, and if he's not, I'll hold it accountable and I'll, hand up on that, whatever. But
Yeah.
I just I think it's an overreaction because I mean, this is he's only been playing in the majors for not even a year, you know?
Yeah, I get that. It's just I don't know. I feel like at the end of the day, I wanted them to go out to get somebody for outfield to replace him. To be honest, that's the thing. I not even the fact that like send him down, whatever, blah blah. Like just like I wanted somebody else starting over him. I get it. Like his defense is great. I understand that. But dude, when it comes down like the bottom of the lineup and we need them, somebody to come through, it's like it almost feels like an automatic out, bro. And it's
I
just
get
like
it.
it's annoying, bro. Like I'm tired of like it may be, and honestly, I might be having PTSD from game 6 and 7 when
That's what
he
it
didn't show
is.
up. And it's just like, dude, like, there's no improvement. I don't see any. And I get it. It's 2 games in, but it's just like, dude, I don't know, man. I
I
don't
just
know.
I think it's an overreaction. Who are you gonna put there?
Marsh, and then with
No, no,
Merrifield
no,
and
no, no, no,
left.
no,
I
no,
mean,
no.
like,
Okay, okay, okay. So, like, so to me, Witt's a platoon guy. But if you can't put Witt there, right? Because it would have to be essentially it would probably have to be an everyday player that you would put there. Who would you put there?
I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. That brings up to my point, though, of getting somebody in free agency. Why not go get somebody in free agency that could have been better, when it comes to at bats, and
I
still
agree.
giving us decent defense in the outfield.
Yeah,
I
you've
get it that
put
he covers a
yeah.
lot of ground. I understand that,
No, yeah, yeah.
but dude, like,
It just I think some of the stuff gets overblown because I think in the playoffs, I just think he was overmatched. Like he had never seen something like that. I more so put that on Rob Thompson a little bit because I don't think that guy was ready for that moment, and I don't think you should have put him there and put him in the public eye like that. You know what I'm
it,
saying? Like
no, yeah,
there's certain times where you roll a new guy out, and that wasn't one of them.
yeah. And listen, I hope I'm wrong
Yeah.
down the line. I hope
Oh,
he
of
gets
course.
it
No, I
better.
know
I hope
that.
he does. But right now, I just see it as like he's not that guy that people have been telling me about. But and another thing is too is like it comes back to the point of this is our window and we got the guys that we have now that are, getting up in age. Like I don't want to have to waste my time having to wait on this young guy to get improved and it is hurting us in the lineup.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we
Like
don't
by
have
like
time for that.
by the time he's decent, like people will be retired.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I
Right,
don't have
right.
time for
That's
that,
fair.
bro.
That's fair.
I don't have time for that. And like I
Where
said, it's just I'm hoping I'm wrong, but it's just oh my god, it's annoying, man. It's
yeah,
annoying.
I get it. I get it.
So this next one, I like I say, this one might be bad, but this might be just a hating type thing.
Okay.
Rob Thompson is terrible when it comes to making lineups.
Oh, dude, we're in the same I don't so I don't think it's an overreaction necessarily. I think it's an overreaction a little bit, only because like he I don't know. He seems like now after game 6 and 7, he seems like if a guy's struggling, he's gonna shift things around.
Yeah,
And I don't think he's gonna waste any time on that. I think he's gonna be able to make adjustments. I think it's a tiny bit of an overreaction, but I see where you're going, you know?
yeah. I just
But
think it's not an overreaction. I think it's legit. It's just he struggles with it. How about
I
this? How
get
about I
I
say
get yeah.
how about I say he struggles instead of saying he's terrible? I'll take that
Yeah.
back. I'll
Okay.
say he struggles with lineups because, dude, Marsh. Like I understand the lefty on lefty thing and whatnot, but like Marsh not being in a lineup against a lefty still, it's just like, dude. First of all, he was the only one that produced runs for us for on Friday, and then he was
Yeah.
out yesterday. And it's just like now he's out again today. And I understand he got the knee surgery in spring training, and he's fine. He looked okay the other day to me.
He
It looked fine
he
to me.
he produced against the Cy Young favorite in the National League when nobody else could.
I I guess I'll bring this up because we talked about it last night when we were going through the rundown. And I know people are gonna be like, "Whoa, that example was terrible, the comparison." I'm not comparing when I say
Oh,
this.
man.
But when we go back to players like Chase Utley and Ryan Howard who are lefties, were we sitting them
No,
against lefties?
no. But
And like I said, I'm not comparing them
analytics
to
analytics are a thing now.
that's what I'm saying, but analysts are taking over the game too much. It's like, bro, let them go out and play and see what happens. It's
Yeah.
not saying that lefty on lefty is an automatic out. That's not true. I
No,
mean,
yeah.
you're not sitting Schwarber against the lefty. And I'm not making and like I
It's
said, I'm
true.
not making the
No, yeah, yeah.
comparison, but
No,
like
but
it's just like,
but
come
you
on,
can't
man.
use analytics as an excuse for some players and not for others, you know?
Yeah. It's just like the lineup shifting. It's just like, dude, stay consistent. We need something
Yeah,
consistent. We need something, that's and I know he's trying out new things and that's okay to do, but just stay
yeah.
consistent, man.
So that kinda leads into my statement.
Mhm.
The platooning of Marsh, Witt, Pache, and Rojas will end up negatively impacting the win-loss record.
I'm gonna say not a reaction. I don't think that's gonna. I don't think it's
I don't
gonna.
think it is either. I think it's gonna negatively affect because, like, and we'll get into it in a second with the lineup. That's kind of what I wanted to lead to. Like,
Yeah,
I just, I, when you start a lineup, you keep those guys out there for a little bit until guys need rest days. And like you said, I know Marsh got the knee surgery and everything, but
yeah,
like you don't pull him on the second day of the season because you're going against a left-hander who
yeah,
ended up getting shelled in the first inning anyway. So who cares?
yeah,
Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I would have rather had Marsh in center than Rojas yesterday. Like, Marsh in center and Witt in right or
yeah.
left. I'm sorry.
So much for the Merrifield debut.
Yeah, fat lot of good that did, huh?
Pop fly. It's like, oh,
Unbelievable.
fit right in.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Welcome to the Phillies, man.
Yeah. Enough of that. I think we got our point across. So we'll
Yeah,
transition into around the league here. We gotta get off the Phillies for a little bit and talk about some around the league stuff because I think we're just gonna get too heated. Some good games the last couple of days. You know, hey, Dodgers lost last night.
who was at the plate with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 10th? Down one.
Otani.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
It's not good for my
Interesting.
fantasy, but my
Yeah.
fantasy baseball, not you know, it's just not. Yeah,
The
it's
Yankees are
that
3 and
whole.
0. They beat the
Are
Astros.
they?
Yeah, 3 and
Wow.
0. I mean,
The
Soto
uh
had
the
his
the the Mariners Red Sox series has been a good one. I've been watching that when I get home from the games. I've been watching that. I watched the
yeah,
whole thing. Last night I fell asleep in the 10th inning, so I didn't get to see the Mariners walk it off, but
yeah, Julio had his first walk off in his career, which is pretty cool. I know,
yeah,
Julio's a good player. I
he
respect
is.
him. So,
He is. He is.
um but yeah, I mean, Soto had his first homer as a Yankee last night. I was like, here we go. So, cuz after that happened, it's like,
What do you
pay
mean?
that man, pay that man.
You wouldn't give him $800 million? Are you crazy?
I mean, from what everybody's telling me, they should. So, I
That's what I'm
mean,
saying.
hey. Hey, listen, listen, I know I'm gonna sound like a hater, but like, hey, you do what you got to do. But
And I
I,
want to talk about uh our fallen soldier Reese Hoskins
yeah, man, I
and
mean that's a
what
good,
happened
yeah,
with him in the Mets.
dude. I fucking can't stand the
So
Mets.
for people who didn't see it, which if you haven't and you're on social media as a Phillies fan, then I don't know who you're following or what your algorithm is.
Yeah,
Um, he took a late slide over the base into Jeff McNeil, which who already was bobbling the ball. Okay, he landed and got up and started yelling at Reese and cursing at him. Well, Reese goes to jog off the field and he's yelling at him. He's like, F him, F him, F him. He was coming after him. He's like, he should be thrown out. And they reviewed it. The slide rule was good. And Reese just did the wah wah face. It was so funny. And then Fast forward, which to start off to backtrack a tiny bit, Jeff McNeil slid 6 feet off the base against the guy on the Braves, which I hate the Braves anyway, but I hate Jeff McNeil more.
Yeah.
He took a 6 foot slide off the base path to take out the Braves shortstop or second baseman or whoever it was.
Yeah.
However long ago that was, I don't know. But anyway, so he's mad about that. So the next day, everybody's booing Reese Hoskins. He
Yeah.
hit boom right away. He hits a single down the line. It's a 2 run single, and he's like, all right. And they're like, all right, cool. Then cranks a home run, and in the seventh inning, he gets thrown behind towards his head, and the pitcher gets ejected.
As should.
I'm not saying that they're wrong for throwing at him. That's not what I'm saying necessarily, but
Yeah.
do it in front of him, get him to back off the plate a little bit. Just make it a little high and tight. You know what I mean? High and tight against the chest, or throw it at his throw it at his ass. Don't throw it at his head.
Yeah.
Reese has been hit in the head before.
Yeah.
So I mean he already has a history with the Mets because you probably remember
Mm.
when he hit the home run against the Mets and did the super slow trot because they threw at his head again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, and then he went into the dugout and he he went up to one of the bench players, he high-fived him, and he just went
Yeah.
like one quick wham. But
Where's McNeil?
it was just
Classic. Classic.
it's classic Mets.
It
And
is.
Keith Hernandez in the booth, or whoever it was, I think it was Keith Hernandez, was like, "You throw at him in the first inning. You don't throw at him after he's already like cleaned your clock or whatever." I think that's what he said. He was like,
Yeah.
"After he's already whooped on you, that's not when you throw at him. You throw at him before that."
I mean, geez. I mean, letting telling them when they should throw at him is kind of insane to me. But hey,
I
I
agree, but
mean, come on now. He's
it's
like,
an old
that's when you
style
should
thing.
throw at him. It's like, whoa,
Yeah,
hold on, bro.
but
Like,
he also said you can't throw behind him. You have to
yeah,
throw it, like I said, you have to throw it high and tight, like
yeah,
up in
yeah,
the
yeah,
chest. You know what I mean? Or throw it somewhere where he could just deflect the ball. I mean, Chase Utley he was leading in hit by pitch for however long, but people
yeah,
would throw at him and then he would just take it off his back and it would just angle off his back. That's how you throw at somebody. You don't
yeah.
throw at their face.
No,
You
no,
don't throw at their
absolutely not.
face.
Absolutely
But
not.
like Keith Hernandez was like, you make your message known early or you don't make it at all. Take your pick.
Exactly. Yeah,
You know, and
exactly. And
Keith
it's reasonable.
Hernandez, I mean, it could be the cocaine talking, but who knows?
Dude, it's been crazy. I mean, there was a bench clearing, I think yesterday in the Rays
Mm,
Blue Jays game,
yes.
and it's just like it's crazy. All right, this season there's already been some
For
animosity. It's like,
dude, that was for
holy,
nothing. Did you
well, the guy
watch the
shoved him.
video?
Yeah, like he pushed him or whatever.
Okay, no,
Like,
no, 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 but he shoved him for nothing, is what I'm saying.
well, that's what they, yeah,
Like
because it was like
he
he didn't
slid
like
and he kind
the,
of bumped into him, and then he
yeah,
was like, "What are you doing?" And as he has his hands up, the guy was like, and he mushed him, and I was like,
yeah.
"What did he do that for? Like, what did he say to him? Because it couldn't have been much other than like, get out of
It's
my
been
way,
crazy, dog.
or like, why are you in my way?" He just shoved him in the face out of nowhere.
Yeah,
It's just dumb. It
yeah.
it's
It's been crazy around the
it's
league, man.
crazy how tensions are so high already.
Already, yeah,
You know,
already. But
but I mean that's why we love the sport.
transitioning off of that, um, looking ahead to today's Phillies game against the Braves, I'm pretty sure it's a 105 start, right? If I'm correct, or is it
135.
135? I know you said earlier you're going. Unfortunately or not unfortunately, who knows what happens. Um, but they just dropped the lineup a little bit ago before we started. Um, and I'm confused.
I don't get it. I don't
Harper's
get
out
it.
of the lineup today. Marsh is out of the lineup today. Who else was out of the lineup too? Was it you said it was Bohm or
No, Bohm's in the
Bohm's
lineup.
in? Stott?
Stott, Stott,
Stott's out of
yeah.
the lineup today, and it's the third game
But
in half our lineups.
Bohm moved over to first, and Sosa moved over to third off the
Now,
bench.
people are saying maybe precautionary for Harper just because of what happened, like the tumble he took yesterday trying to
Just
go
to
for the
get him
ball.
off his
But
feet. Like,
yeah,
why
whatever. I
Stott
guess
sitting?
I still don't know why, bro. I don't know. This is what I'm
I don't
saying,
get it.
bro. This is what I'm saying. Why, like, why are people?
He works counts better than anybody in that lineup, and they pulled him.
I just don't understand, bro. I don't get
It
it.
must it must be because of lefty righty thing. Is Chris Sale a righty?
No, he's a
I don't
lefty.
even know much. Okay, that's probably why then.
They're
Because
gonna make.
Witt is a righty. That's
Hopefully,
probably
they'll
why.
make Chris Sale look like 2018 Chris Sale today. Maybe like a
Hopefully
Cy
they
Young.
don't, you mean? Yeah,
I
I
hope they
agree.
don't. I hope they don't
Oh,
make him
oh,
look like
okay,
Cy
yeah,
Young.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we got Suarez on the mound, so, you know, maybe
That's my guy.
Ranger can give us a little boost, who
How
knows?
many times have we put our mental health in the hands of this man?
A lot. And he's so relaxed. He's so
No, he
relaxed
is.
when he's playing, it's
Dude,
great.
it's yeah, it's kinda disturbing how relaxed he is.
Yeah, yeah. So I listen. I'm hoping today. And this is I'm eventually gonna do my Pete's picks segment, but I have them winning today. I think the Phillies win today. Of course, I'm gonna try to be optimistic and positive, but I think they turn around today. I think they win.
The
Now,
lineup pisses me off, and that's why they're gonna win.
yeah,
Because 'cause they're
and
gonna
that's
prove me wrong.
exactly. I just don't think you can get swept at home to start the season against the Braves. I just don't. I don't think they should. I
They
hope they
can't
don't let
let
it
that
happen.
happen.
Like, they can't. They can't. We gotta put the last 2 days behind us, and we need to win today, and then we need to go sweep the Reds too. So,
Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna get into another new segment on the show called Pete's Picks. I have the "Do you know what" or "You know what's bothering me" segment. So we figured Pete can have something where he gives some predictions, some pitching matchups for the rest of the week, taking you till next Sunday, which is when we record. So if we're wrong about today's game, you know, it's not our fault.
yeah.
But Pete, you can take it away with your picks for the week.
Yes, sir. So obviously, I said before, I do think we win today. I know Chris Sale is going to be a tough matchup, especially if he's healthy as everybody says he is. But I do think we grind out a win today. Because like I said, I just don't think it's right that we just get swept at home. I just don't think the players are going to let that happen. And who knows? Maybe a lineup change with today is going to give some players some boost. So who knows? I know we got Ranger on the mound, and I feel pretty confident with him on the mound. Going into tomorrow's game, we start off a series against the Cincinnati Reds as CBP. We got Christopher Sanchez, who are making his debut this season, and then the Reds got Andrew Abbott on the mound. Personally, I'm going to say that we take this win tomorrow. I think especially if we get a win today and then we start a new fresh series. I just feel like the boost will
Give us a little bit of juice. Yeah.
momentum, a little bit of juice. So I think we win tomorrow. And then going into Tuesday's game against the Reds, we got Spencer Turnbull and the Reds got Ashcraft on the mound. Um, I can see us taking an L here. I don't know what Turnbull is going to give us. I know he did pretty well in spring training, but the thing is too, you got to look at it. The Reds are a young team, and they've started the season pretty well. So I
Uh,
just don't know what to expect to get from Turnbull.
I'm curious to see what Ellie De La Cruz is like this year. He's just
Yeah,
electric,
for
man.
sure. Yeah, and he's a great player. So I can
Jonathan
see.
India is another one.
Yeah, yeah. No, they got a good team, up and coming rising team. I see us taking the L on Tuesday. Wednesday we got Wheels on the mound against Frankie Montez, and I'm gonna say we get the win here. Especially with Wheeler on the mound, I just don't think we can go wrong. Probably be a competitive game, but I just think the lineup goes crazy and Wheeler has another good game.
I think
Um,
that the team feels like they owe Wheeler a win too.
oh yeah, absolutely.
They owe him some run support. I think they know that.
Absolutely. So, and then after we finish up that series, we have a day break on Thursday, and then we travel down to Washington to take on the Nationals. No matchups or pitching matchups have been set yet, but I'm gonna predict that Nola will be going the first game of that series. I'm gonna say we win that game, just because Nola is gonna be looking to bounce back, and I think it's definitely against a good team that he can get a bounce back with. And I mean, I'm not gonna overlook the Nationals because it's a division
Yeah,
game again, and we
right.
always get played well against division teams. Um, but I just think Nola's gonna have a bounce back game. He's got to show us something.
Yeah.
So I think we win that game, and I think the next two games, I think we sweep the Nationals. Long
Okay.
story short, that whole series, I just
Mhm.
think that even though they're going to play us well, I think we're going to want to send a message, especially on the road and stuff. We play pretty good in Nationals Park, so I don't have any worries there. So I think for the rest of the week, we do pretty well. I just think especially if we lose today, which will be absolutely awful. Like
Yeah.
I will be
They're gonna wanna punch somebody in the mouth.
exactly, and I
Yeah.
just think going into the week, like I said, I know we have one loss in the Cincinnati series, but other than that, I just think after today, it's kind of just like, all right, let's just get shit on a roll here. So, those are my picks for the week.
All right. I'm going to the, game on Saturday, I think,
Are you
for
really?
For Gabby's birthday, I'm pretty sure.
Nice,
Yeah, she wants to
nice.
go down there, so it's not a bad drive. The parking there sucks. It's like $50 to park for that stadium.
Whew,
Yeah, it's a lot.
hell no,
And it's a
hell no.
parking garage, like, it's not even
Oh, what? Yeah, yeah.
No,
I guess
no,
it's
no, no. It's, like, not no.
no.
It's weird. It's weird. It's really weird,
Nah, I
but
know what you mean. Um,
yeah.
I think we'll end it there. Like I said, it was a rough 2 days, but I think it's time we, turn the page, and hopefully by the time people listen to this on Monday, we'll hopefully be in the win column. I hope they win today, and I hope they just, get stuff going here. I just get some momentum
Just
rolling.
get the offense going, man. Just get the
Just
offense
something.
going.
Stop doing too much. Just play some small ball, and it might turn into a win.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
we we need it. We need some, confidence here.
yep.
So shout out to the listeners, the new ones that recently have joined us, the ones that continuously support us. We appreciate it. Make sure to follow the socials. Check out the video recording on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, let us know how we did.
Alright, go Phils.
Go Phils. Be out.